24-hour news continues with Pete Wilson, Pam Moore, Janice Huff, and Gary Radnich. You're watching News Center 4 at 10.
Tonight I say to them, join us, and together we will revitalize America.
And Ross Perot calls it quits. Bill Clinton wasting no time inviting Perot's supporters into the Democratic camp. Good evening, everyone. I'm Suzanne Shaw in for Pam Moore tonight.
Perot's announcement thundered out of Texas, momentarily upstaging Clinton as he polished the biggest speech of his political career. But tonight, with the world staring him in the face, Clinton took advantage of the opportunity to sway Perot supporters and anyone else who might be watching.
We are, as Democrats, in the words that Ross Perot himself spoke today, a revitalized Democratic Party.
With the renewed energy of a suddenly hopeful party cheering him on, Clinton laid out his vision for the future. Family values, normally a Republican theme, at the core of the vision.
I'm fed up with politicians in Washington lecturing the rest of us about family values. Our families have values, but our government doesn't.
Clinton outlined what he called the New Covenant, a plan for Americans to take an active part in revitalizing the country. He called on American companies to take the lead, exporting products instead of jobs. And he promised to put defense money to work to create more jobs.
The end of the Cold War permits us to reduce defense spending while still maintaining the strongest defense in the world. But we must plow back every dollar of defense cuts into building American jobs right here at home.
While the party may finally be united, Clinton said the country is still divided, in an apparent reference to the LA riots. Clinton called for racial harmony.
Every one of you knows deep in your heart that we are too divided. It is time to heal America.
He spoke out on gay and lesbian rights and hammered away at women's issues. He minced no words on his stand on abortion.
This difficult and painful decision should be left to the women of America. I hope the right to privacy can be protected, and we will never again have to discuss this issue on political platforms.
The speech went on for nearly an hour. The overall theme, Republicans are out of touch. And now that Perot is out of the way, Democrats are the party for change. After the speech, Clinton told reporters he's getting encouragement for his campaign from Ross Perot, though Perot has not endorsed Clinton or Bush, for that matter.
News Center 4's political analyst Roland Post is in New York and has been all week. Roland, you listened closely to Clinton's campaign speech tonight. What did you think?
Well, I would think from the Clinton's campaign point of view, this was a smashing success. This was a very, very good speech by Clinton tonight, and I think, and by Al Gore, both. So I think the campaign should be very happy. After all, the Democrats came here to New York with two things in mind. First, they wanted to leave with a united party, and they are, and they wanted to introduce Clinton and Gore to the American public, and they did that tonight, and they did it very successfully.
Now, what does Perot's dropping out mean for the Clinton campaign?
Well, you know, the Perot thing, you know, I could take you down on the floor when there were people there, and any 10 people I asked, you'd get a different answer. I don't think anybody really knows right now. There are some that think it benefits him, some that thinks it'll make it harder for them. But a poll taken tonight by CNN of Perot supporters by phone around the country indicate that at the moment the Perot supporters are going rather heavily to Clinton. But be careful about polls at this time because they're very premature. They could change very much.
We've seen how fast things can change in just 24 hours. Thanks a lot, Roland. We'll check with you later.
Well, Ross Perot did it for the plainest of reasons. He did it because he knew he couldn't win, and that left his supporters saddened and furious and in some cases disbelieving. Carl Sonkin spent the evening with Perot people in San Jose. Carl, what was the general reaction to Clinton's speech tonight?
Well, let me tell you this, Pete. There's a handwritten sign here at Ross Perot headquarters that says it's not over yet. And so that may be one reason why Ross Perot supporters here were very cool to Bill Clinton's call to join him. After losing their own candidate, Perot volunteers glumly watched the Democratic candidate on television, hearing Bill Clinton urge Perot's army of patriots to join him and revitalize America.
I don't see honesty on him. And I think that's very strong. I have to see it.
I'm still going to work to hold out for Perot at this stage of the game. And I don't have the foggiest idea what I'm going to do if Perot is really a dead issue.
What we've been doing for Perot, and we're going to still keep doing it until November.
I think we all got a little bit of a shock this morning, a little after 8 o'clock. I think I would rather seen an earthquake than what we went through.
Earlier, the volunteers gathered to comfort each other after Ross Perot left the race. They say they kept their part of the bargain, but Ross Perot must now keep his.
And I didn't walk away, Mr. Perot, and neither are you.
For President, this is Nancy.
Even though Perot quit the race early in the morning, the phones were busy. They claim more volunteers have signed up, and they have faxes from 29 state committees.
Nobody's dropping. They're all saying, hey, Ross, you're going to make me live up to your commitment to us.
This country is ours, and we're moving it.
There was bravado from some, but a sense of shock pervaded this political headquarters.
They look like they're all large.
And amid the memorabilia, questions why their so-called political outsider chose Bill Clinton's big speech day, a very political time, to bow out.
If he played it that way, in essence, yes, I am disappointed. But he's still the only one we got out there. And that's why we're here.
So they believe they can will, cajole, even demand Ross Perot back into the race. We'll certainly see about that. As for Bill Clinton, News Center 4's Linda Yee was with his supporters tonight. Linda?
Well, Carl, Ross Perot bowing out of the race clearly couldn't come at a better time for Clinton supporters. They say now the momentum is clearly in their favor.
We're very optimistic that a lot of Perot support is now going to come over to Bill Clinton's campaign.
Are they?
They seem to be. We're just being inundated with calls, particularly by Perot supporters volunteering for this campaign.
I'd hope that it would help the campaign and give people a second chance to look at Clinton.
You've got a lot of people who are very separated from the political system, and they were brought in by Perot, and now they're looking for a change, and who's the obvious one for change but Clinton?
Clinton supporters were confident with Ross Perot out of the race, the Democrats will take back the White House. An estimated 250 Clinton volunteers gathered here to cheer on their candidate, and Clinton's acceptance speech hit all the right notes for them.
He said that the most important things are health care, education, and our children. That's the most important things.
I believe he reached America. I think he had a very strong message, a very captivating message, and I think there is hope, and he built hope in for us for tonight.
Instead of the Bush trying to divide us, he wants to bring us together. He is strong. He's really a wonderful candidate. I have more hope now than I've had in 12 years. I think we're going to do it this time.
Well, the energy certainly is there. Supporters here say now the real campaign will start. Back to you, Pam and Pete and Suzanne.
All right. Thank you, Linda. Need we say that the Clinton camp was not alone in trying to woo the Perot supporters today? President Bush cast aside his fishing pole to hold an early impromptu news conference in Wyoming. The president, of course, predicted that the Perot faithful would join his camp.
I am convinced that the conservatives who are supporting Ross Perot, the legions of conservative people, will end up being with me.
And curiously, the Bush administration had nothing but good to say about Perot today, reversing the trend of recent months in which they referred to him as a temperamental tycoon.
And so Ross Perot and Bill Clinton may have made this a tumultuous day in American politics. Perot assassinating a phenomenon that behaved more like a hot-loaded meteor than a campaign. Spectacular while it lasted, but doomed to disintegrate before it hit home. And Clinton plodding forward like the Energizer rabbit, going and going and going, somehow surviving problems that have killed off a history of candidates before him. Fascinating stuff, the more because so much depends on it.
Still ahead on our newscast tonight, a California bank saying no to the state's IOUs, and officials fear a ripple effect.
Plus, Rodney King in trouble with the law again. Stay with us. California, the IOU state. After cashing warrants from our budgetless state for 16 days, one bank finally has said enough, no more. Tri-County's Bank of Chico is the first California bank to say it won't cash the state notes anymore. We don't know if this is an isolated case or the first of the dominoes to fall. Tri-County's cashed hundreds of thousands of dollars in IOUs and says any more would be too risky.
This was a very hard decision for us to make because we have 14 branches in Northern California. We have customers in all walks of life and all businesses, and it will affect them. We still felt that the risk was too much to take.
Of the bank's decision, Controller Gray Davis said, "I'm very concerned about this development. I intend to be in contact with the bank first thing tomorrow and will work hard to make sure it doesn't cause a domino effect." There's double trouble tonight for Pacific Refinery of Hercules, long the target of neighborhood complaints over smelly and dirty oil discharges. The Air Quality Board says it's going after Pacific's permit to operate, due to expire in September, and the DA is investigating possible criminal violations. Over the years, that refinery has paid fines on 28 separate violations, and 69 charges against it are still pending.
Rodney King arrested again today in Los Angeles for drunken driving. CHP officers arrested King in a restaurant parking lot about 2 this morning. He failed sobriety test and refused to take a breath or urine test. King's attorney attributes the incident to the stress his client has been under since the beating and the LA riots. Leona Benton, the pregnant Berkeley woman who smuggled illegal abortion pills into the U.S., says she doesn't think the court will let her take one. The decision is still in the hands of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Benton says it won't be safe for her to take the RU-486 pill after Saturday, in which case she says she will get a regular abortion. And an American congressional delegation met with new Israeli Prime Minister Rabin today. They said his willingness to freeze construction of new settlements in occupied territories gives a boost to chances for a Middle East settlement. And Egyptian sources say the move could clear the way for a summit meeting with Israel, maybe as soon as next week.
Well, coming up, Janice will be here with the Midwestern weather, ours, but still Midwestern. Plus, the next step in Olympic competition. Richard Hart will have that story. It really is. It's like the Midwest around.
Feeling like you're back home, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Days and days of stormy weather here in California. It still remains mainly over the Sierra, but tonight it is diminishing as we lose the heating of the afternoon. And speaking of heat, there was quite a bit of it inland today. Places like Redding over 100 degrees this afternoon. Antioch, Danville up to 95, 90 in Concord, but along the coast, a little cool, 69 in San Francisco. Of course, with all that warm air rising over the interior sections, the cool air from the ocean rushing in and take its place. So cool at the ocean location, 67 at Half Moon Bay, 85 in Los Altos, and 75 in Santa Cruz. And we've got some showers to show you off the coast of Santa Cruz in just a moment. Temperature is 59 degrees here in the city, relative humidity 88%. A little muggy out there for some of us tonight. Winds from the northwest at 10 miles per hour. The barometer steady at 29.90. Watch the clouds as they start to build over this area, over the Sierra, as time goes by. And that, of course, happened this afternoon with the heating of the afternoon and all of that available moisture that's been sitting over the state for almost a week now. Thunderstorms erupted. Most of those have diminished this evening and pushed into sections of Nevada, too. But we've also got some isolated thundershower activity just southwest of Santa Cruz and also around the South Lake Tahoe area. So there's still the outside chance of thundershowers even for the coastal mountains of Santa Cruz Mountains, maybe tomorrow afternoon, as well as parts of the Sierra. So it's not over yet. The air mass is still very unstable across these regions. Monterey will see a high of 70 tomorrow with morning fog and some high clouds in the afternoon. Thunderstorms are expected once again at Tahoe and Yosemite and all those same locations that have seen the activity past few days. Eureka might even see some isolated storms in the coastal range. 111 degrees for Palm Springs and 88 for Los Angeles tomorrow afternoon with hazy sunshine. Around the Bay tomorrow, a lot of temperatures in the 70s. The inland areas will warm up again into the 90s. Fair skies tonight, except right along the coast. The low clouds spreading into the Bay. Lows from the mid-50s to the mid-60s, so a little mild in areas tonight and a little warm tomorrow for most of us. Mostly sunny after morning fog. A mixture of sun and clouds tomorrow. Saturday, coastal clouds 60s to 90s, 60s to 80s by the middle of next week, but still watch out for those storms in the mountains.
Okay. All right.
Did you know we had Olympic Games in San Jose today?
I was not aware of that, no.
Olympic Games for robots. Yes, they came from universities and basement labs and garages around the Bay Area in the United States. Next Step reporter Richard Hart was in the Victory Circle today at the San Jose Convention Center.
They came from Michigan, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. There was no prize but bragging rights for the smartest, fastest, best-behaved robot in the land.
This is an experiment. Okay, it's ready.
And we'd like to have an actual machine that goes out there and interacts in the world so that we can test out our ideas and make sure they really work, because the world is always a little more complicated than you think it's going to be.
It's an explorer, we use Caesar's quote, Veni Vidi Vici. We come, we look around, and then we conquer the area by exploring everything.
The event was sponsored by the American Association for Artificial Intelligence. The robots were required to negotiate a maze, find a specific goal, and mingle without hurting humans. Some did that with laser sensors, most with sonar. This is that bat-like sonar device that sends out a really high-frequency sound that humans can't hear. There are 24 on this robot. I've counted 300 altogether. This is a bad place for a dog today.
These folks were the winners!
The team from the University of Michigan won with Carmel, computers and robots for maintenance and emergency life support. How about that? Robot overachievers. In San Jose, Richard Hart, News Center 4.
Neat stuff, and I think you would have to agree, Gary, much more interesting than rhythmic gymnastics.
Yes, coming up in the... Pete, something's got to be said, and I'm going to be the man to say it. Please do not buy a ticket to the A's or Giants game until Ross Perot re-enters the race. I saw the emotion of those people tonight. Something's got to be done in sports.
Now, somebody's going to take you literally, and we're going to be in all kinds of trouble.
Oh, I'm teasing.
You're in trouble.
Go on with your lives, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're coming back. That's my Ross Perot, my political up. Oh, Suzanne gasping for air. I'm just playing. We're coming back. Henderson is back. So Perot joins the race. I'm sick about it. Ricky Henderson, for all his off-the-field controversies, is so talented that bottom line, he can get away with any attitude he chooses. Here's what we mean. 30,236, some boo sprinkled in. Ricky leads off the game against Frank Tanana, the Tigers. He says, boo me a little more, baby. I'm in the home run trot. And the A's never look back tonight at home. Here's Ricky, another ground ball. Travis Fryman, the All-Star, chose instead of Cecil Fielder. He hits Bordick in the back with a throw. 4-0 A's, bottom two, and Kelly Downs says, I'm cruising. I'm cruising. Sit down, big Cecil Fielder. He worked 7 innings, did Kelly Downs, to get his first victory as an Athletic. Gossage finished up. Minnesota wins, though. A's stay 2 back. It's a win for Texas and 12 at Chicago. It's Toronto leading Seattle. Kansas City wins, as does California. Giants often flying this second half. We bring up Shea Stadium, New York. Matt Williams, how about a play at third? Oh, he's going to have to get up. Throw out Howard Johnson via the one-hopper. We go top 4, 2-1 Giants. Willie McGee into the gap. Willie hitting 310 plus. Rolling to the wall. Bud Black is kind of a truck, but he is in there. Bud is now 8-2 on the year. He won tonight, and Robbie Thompson has been rolling up his sleeves of late. Oh, way back. His 8th home run of the year, and the Giants win. Again, Black 8-2, final 6-4, and what the heck? You want to tease us a little more, Giants? Reds lose, Giants now only 7.5 back. It's a win for Atlanta tonight. Montreal past San Diego, the Dodgers get over, and Pittsburgh 2, Chicago 1. It happened tonight in Kansas City. For those of you saying, where is Carlos Baerga? All right, we're going to show you some great fielding here by Mr. Baerga. The backhand job, and he's going to throw out Terry Schubert, but the Royals won 3-2. Double plays back-to-back, you're going to love. This is Bill Pecota of the Royals. Oh, Billy, make the flip job, and the Royals turn 2. All right, it happened tonight in Chicago. How about Milwaukee Scott Fletcher, the former White Sox, and the Brewers turn 2. But the White Sox won 5-4. Time to go. How you doing, baby? Yeah. Hello, my friend. First day of 49er workouts in Rockland. The club's first 2 draft choices, Dana Hall and Zeph Lee, not around, but number 16 was. Montana was limited to just 40 passes today. Of course, he missed all of last season due to a torn right elbow tendon. Montana was was very anxious to get back to work.
Hard to say I looked forward to coming, but I did. You know, it's been a while since I had an opportunity to play, so I was looking forward to it.
As for what lies ahead this training camp, Coach George Seifert says Montana would follow a restricted regimen, but he will play in all the team's preseason games. Only time will tell if Montana can make yet one more comeback.
Is there any kind of pass you haven't thrown yet? It's behind my back.
Joe hadn't heard about the Ross Perot pullout when he was making that joke. Round one of the British Open finds co-leaders. I don't know why I'm on that kick, but how about Paul McGingley as we get back to sports? This man shot only a 76 today, but he has something to remember. British Open, 7th hole. Paul, baby, give me one hop, a hole in one for McGinley. 15th hole, Greg Norman says, I got rid of that hat. It wasn't working. A 71 today. He's 7 strokes back. 71 puts you 7 back. That means Steve Pate was cooking. No, it didn't drop. We could wait all night. Will not fall. Here is Pate, a 64 to share the lead. And then we go to Raymond Floyd. Look at Raymond with the sweater. Very stylish. Rolling it down. Yeah, thank you. Got to go for the fashion. A 64. There's your leaderboard. Pate, Floyd, woozed him at 65. Then Brand Jr., 4-tied 66. The big name, Trevino at 69. Kite, Couples, Norman, Watson going for his 6th British Open, and Nicklaus shot a 75. That's it. They're off and running at the British Open. And again, my political stuff is all humor.
Of course.
You leave them alone. The Perot supporters have had a
We were holding
rough
up signs
day.
all the way through sports saying, apologize. For what you said. Apologize. Good night.